Welcome to the BETMOORSPORTS Podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Steven Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we got a special guest in the building. We got my man from back in the day, but he's probably the greatest shooter that I've seen outside of Steph. He was a starer around here, and he little.
And he's a St. Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, that's a blessing.
You know, nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? So let's show some love for my man, Billy.
Appreciate the love, folks. Glad to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey.
Let's keep doing what y'all do. I'm following y'all, so for y'all to bring me on, I'm blessed to be here, man.
I was telling him I used to watch Billy pull up from three by the hash mark over and over and over again. Everybody in the gym, he just stop and shoot that shit, and it's like, and it's like that was the longest of all time.
When I watch basketball, you know, being a
Straight
fan
up.
of sport, and I see the guys, I'm like, man, they remind me of me. And I see the guys like Damian Lillard up sticking that thing from deep, and they consistent. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Just being a fan of the sport, it just gives me chills, man.
You ever said that? Like, I did that first.
Yeah, you know, I say stuff when I see it, I'm like, damn, man, they really knocking it down from deep. You know, they're just like, I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
To play the game and then to grow to be a fan of the sport is something that I'm really taking in. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I've always
right.
been the one that people come see me play, or been a part of a team that people come out to see play. So to actually sit in the bleachers and hear the names that people be like, oh, he nice, he nice. Now I get to be the critic to sit back and what makes him nice, sit back and watch. You know, his name bringing the bell. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy that, man. I enjoy that.
Hey, man, listen. I know one thing. I enjoy sports overall, and from the experiences I've ran into this week, it's been a good week of sports. We're gonna talk about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he went to the owner, asked the owner pretty much, what are you gonna do? And he wanted to get rid of the GM and Steve Nash or him, one or the other. He gave him an ultimatum, and from what I can hear, that owner indicated that he gonna stick by his staff. You know what I'm saying? So
that means what we got to work out. We got to knock the kinks out there. If the owner say something like that, that means we got to go to the round table. Because it sounds like to me you ain't going nowhere.
some got to give. At the end of the day, some got to give, and it's gonna either be one or the other. Either he gonna stay or he gonna go. But I believe he gonna go.
Wow, that's deep. Like it's coming into basketball season, so that means that organization. Man, they mindset ain't right, because you about to come into basketball season, but somebody don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's your key player. That's your prime time player saying he don't want to be here. So, oh man, that's kind of like deep.
What do you do about that? Like when your key player don't want to be there, the best player on your team don't want to be there. Like what's the thought process?
Man, you got to sit down at the round table because, you know, I can imagine they don't want to lose him. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like, we don't want to lose him, but for him to request to be gone
publicly.
Yeah, it's like, so what's the issue between you and the GM and the coach? I gotta ask these questions because you're throwing out these two particular people. I need my GM and my coach gone.
Right.
So that means, hold up, something ain't right with y'all. So what led to that? You know what I'm saying? What led to you? Y'all won't see an eye to eye for you to say I don't even want to be here. That's like, hold on, that's just like breaking up.
Right.
We're in a relationship. Hold on. We just can't leave like that. Let's sit down. Let's talk.
Let's figure out what's going on.
I love you.
Somebody got to be wrong.
Yeah, we got a future together. Well, hold up. You just can't pack up and just get out of here like that. It's got to be something we can talk about. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably definitely what the damn owner's saying.
Exactly. but the owner really is saying is you handpicked Steve Nash.
Did he?
Steve Nash was handpicked.
Them guys got to be involved with coaching
because he had no coaching.
I'm involved with everything.
He had no coaching experience.
I'm involved with who's gonna be the coach because I'm a prime time player.
Right.
I'm coming here to do my job, and I need to know everything. I'm calling the shots. So, who coaching? They gonna want to know? Well, do you like that coach? You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming these guys they the prime time players. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow.
I mean, it makes sense. I just don't know if that is in the cards when you ain't played a game there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get Kevin Durant coming and Kyrie coming, but they ain't did nothing there yet.
But do you think that I get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and they have no knowledge of the assistant. I mean, who the head coach is going to be, and no authority to say yeah or nay.
And Nash look more laid back. When I be seeing them coaches, he's just more laid back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a coach still got to be a coach, man. If he ain't got no backbone.
I think that's the kind of player he was too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a laid back player. How much emotion did you really see come from Steve Nash when he was playing?
He was a people's person as a player, and he's a people's person as a coach, but that don't win you basketball games all the time.
Right.
Look at everybody blossom. Steve Nash resume, everybody who played with Nash blossoming, got good deals. You know, the Marions and the Stoudemire, all them guys had great seasons under Steve Nash.
And none of them won nothing.
That's what I'm trying to say, but it just shows that the kind of person that he is. You know, he's a people's person,
right.
Bring the best out you. So you can see it, put him in a head coach. You know what I'm saying? You can see that position. Like, you know what, Steve Nash, we can just 2-time MVP. People ain't got no good thing to say about this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why he can't be a head coach due to his resume. But it's easy said it up. Look at Isaiah Thomas. You know, certain people you put in a head coach, it just ain't. It's easy said than done.
Yeah.
Isaiah was coaching at one time. Look at his resume.
Though I said every player not meant to be a coach.
No way.
Right.
You know, point guard or not. I mean, point guards tend to make the best coaches, but
a lot of times.
Right.
I think a coach, main thing to me as a coach, you have to relate to your players, man. You got
100%.
to relate to your players and be a people's person, because if not, you got to bring the best out your players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You never want your player to feel like
you got to want your players, or you got to help your players bring the best out themselves.
Right. And he has to know that you got a relationship with him. You know, it ain't just you blowing smoke. You know, oh man, you gonna be all right, knowing that he ain't gonna put you in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, man, he always saying it. You know what I'm saying? So once you know your coach with you, you'll bring the best out your players. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of what Steve Nash's problem is that he didn't play under coaches that required that. That's the difference between him and Steve Kerr, in my opinion. Steve Kerr played for Greg Popovich and
played with a good
Phil Jackson. Yes. So he was able to soak all that in and display that in a game plan. Steve Nash played under Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni has won nothing in the league, right? So when you have won nothing in the league and the player has won nothing in the league, how good really is his resume? When we talk about resumes, right? He didn't win nothing.
Individual stats.
Right. He
ain't win no chips. You know, people rank you off.
But
if he ain't won no
even the MVPs are questionable, because he won an MVP one time. He averaged 17 points a game, and Kobe averaged 31 points.
Yep.
And how you get MVP?
Exactly. So some of that to me is even questionable.
Yeah, that's that.
When you talk about resumes, right? Steve Nash to me didn't have a head coaching resume. It was a lot of head coaches that could have been picked above Steve Nash, right?
And why Mark Jackson ain't there? Mark Jackson is out of coaching, basically. That's what y'all telling me.
He got himself excommunicated.
Mark Jackson wanted the people to go to Bible study, and
he wanted to dictate.
He don't
want
the people to curse at practice or in the game.
For him to build,
but these grown men,
State, you would think that another door would have opened as a coach.
But that's what got him kicked out that door.
Not if he's not a players coach. Players got a say in whether or not they coach. You know what I'm saying?
It comes from their mouth,
I'm paying the coach $50 million. I'm paying the player $200 million. You can't tell me I can't cuss at practice, coach, and I gotta go to Bible study or I'm gonna sit on the bench. That ain't happening.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that's
not in this league.
No way.
And I think for that reason, I don't think this league meant for Mark Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson is an outstanding coach, and I feel like he would take a team wherever they needed to go, but his persona, the person that he is, don't fit with the league. You know what I'm saying? Not his basketball IQ or anything beyond that, just because of the person that he is and the person that he want to be. He is trying to pretty much put it on everybody else as well, because a lot of times you feel like your environment is going to determine you. And when it's like that, if I don't curse, I don't want to be around people that curse. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens that way, you try to tell people don't curse, and they like, fuck you. Excuse my French.
Exactly. That works on the high school level.
Right, exactly.
Don't work on the NBA level.
Some coaches, sometimes it's hard for them to accept people for who they are,
Yeah.
So, the person got a good talent, but you still got to set that person for who they are. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You got to. You don't know what people be coming from, how they, you know what I'm saying? They structure. So I think that's important too. Accept the people for who they are to bring the best out of them. You know what I'm saying?
And I think if he understood that, his approach would be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff, like, don't get me wrong, cursing is just words. But a lot of times, cursing can fire somebody up in such a way that they go for 30 in a night.
Right.
And you don't really, you know what I'm saying?
Some people need that fire.
Some people need
up under
it.
them.
So I got a question. Do y'all think that Brooklyn going to resolve this? Because at the end of the day, you still got you Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, and KD. So do you think they're going to resolve this and KD stay where he at?
Oh, at this point, I feel like they're going to trade KD and Kyrie.
That's the best case scenario.
That's why I say these guys got to be stuck. You going to trade these guys and people ain't getting up all that, man. That's why I got these guys staying where they at.
They're not going to give up everything they're asking for, but they're going to give up enough to make Brooklyn formidable and make everybody pleased at the end of the day.
Think about it from this perspective, right? Let's say Boston trade for Kevin Durant, which right now, from what I can see, they are like, I'm going to use the term front runner.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
leading
saying?
candidate. Yeah,
but they're looking at giving up Jaylen Brown, which is a great asset.
Something else like that.
I think Grant Williams. And then it's a bunch of draft picks involved. Now, let's say they get those, and then let's say they get 4 draft picks, four first rounders.
Boston a contender. You get KD.
100%. 100%.
1000%.
Coming out the East?
Yeah, easy.
Knocking off MB.
Jason Tatum
and anything he gets in Houston.
Jason Tatum and Kevin Durant.
Think about
together.
MB, something special.
I don't give a
you
damn
are
about
replacing.
Embiid ain't been.
Embiid unstoppable. Yeah, I take Embiid one of my top 5 players in the league.
I do too. But what has he accomplished?
You are taking literally the same team that went to the finals and swapping Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant.
So with that being said, you automatically got to go with the
You
Celtics.
better.
You got to.
Going off where they just ended. Okay, I go with
People
y'all.
just
I
went
see
to
y'all
the
vision.
finals, and now you get Kevin Durant.
Right, like that's
my
the same thing that happened with.
What about the Bucks?
The same thing that happened with Golden State.
Why nobody talks about?
I talk about the Bucks a lot because the Bucks was an injury away, in my opinion, from winning back-to-back championships. Right,
Middleton X Factor.
Back-to-back championships. If Middleton don't get hurt,
I don't think they went back-to-back personally.
I do.
I know they would. I think they definitely. Yes, I mean,
can't
and
see
I don't
them
like to do the
Golden State.
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
No, I don't got them beating Golden State.
You don't have
got them
beat
beating Boston. They come out the East. You got
They just won a championship.
right.
Who on Golden State stops Giannis with Middleton
So
going and with
get to the finals, you got to win it again this year.
absolutely. They was the best team in my opinion in the East.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a much more difficult matchup
Bucks.
for Golden State because Giannis is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right? And if you got a healthy Middleton, right? And they just had a better right, Drew.
I like the Bucks. Especially like fourth quarter when the game's close. You ain't really separated as far as scoring. If it's close, you in trouble because the referees let you play. And that falls into the Greek hand. He plays down here. All the little, he's like penitentiary basketball now.
Right.
So he's going to either get a basket or he's getting to the line because he's going downhill.
Right.
Fourth quarter, fatigue to set in. You know what I'm saying? You back, he coming right at you 100 miles per hour.
And I love that style of
play.
basketball.
Yeah, when it's 2-3
because
point game.
that's what we grew up under.
Yes,
get
sir.
to the foul line or get to the cup.
Especially when it's a 2-point game. Now, when it's down, live 12, we can live with that because he looking to drive.
Right.
We want him to shoot the 3 ball. But when it's 2-3 points, somebody like that is hard because he's getting to the basket. Either he getting to the line or he getting the basket because he's down here. He coming at you.
I just know basketball is a game of matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
it's one of those things where if the number one defense in the NBA, period, can't contain Steph Curry, nobody is going to be able to contain him in that circumstance. And I don't feel like I don't think the Bucks defense was top 5.
I mean, but in that same regard, you do know that Drew Holiday is one of the best defenders at the point guard position.
And he's not little. Drew Holiday about 6'4". He's not little.
Absolutely.
He's a big guard.
And he going to give you more work than Marcus Smart on the offensive end.
Yeah, I take Holiday on the offensive end.
So now you gotta play defense and score the basketball.
Think about it from this perspective. Steph pretty much did whatever he want at times.
I agree. Steph can't be stopped.
And at the end of the day, you got other players who showed up that I don't feel like in that situation would have been able to be stopped. Andrew Wiggins. I don't feel like they would have been able to stop him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Golden State play outstanding on both sides of the ball.
I totally agree. And you know who had the Golden State win the championship from middle of the season? The Guru. So I had them winning the championship regardless of who was healthy and not healthy. But I feel like if the Bucks get there, it's a totally different matchup that you got to deal with because you played a Boston team where Jason Tatum struggled the whole finals, pretty much. You're not getting that out of Giannis.
I don't feel like he struggled. I feel like they shut him down.
Yeah, they playing good defense.
Okay, well, they're not shutting Giannis down.
It ain't about shutting Giannis down. Giannis can't win the game by himself.
But that's where you got.
But they can shut Middleton down.
Drew Holiday down.
You don't think they can shut Middleton down?
You got Middleton and Holiday.
Middleton, that's 20 points right there. They took off the board because he was hurt. Middleton gets you about 18, 20.
Right.
Easy.
When he playing everybody else. But I'm pretty sure that if they could shut Jason Tatum down, they can shut Middleton down.
It's a difference. It's a difference when you have that experience.
Actually, riddle me this, Guru. Jason Tatum, Chris Middleton.
Right.
Who do you think will be more difficult to shut down?
I'm going to say Jason Tatum. You know why? Jason Tatum, simply because Jason Tatum has a better overall skill set, right? So he's going to be the harder cover than Chris Middleton. Right. However, but still, however, Chris Middleton got more heart than Jason Tatum.
Right. And his role is not, he in a system where he's not considered the number one option.
Absolutely.
So that's less pressure on me.
It's less pressure. And I got Drew Holiday.
He got to get his touches.
But Chris Middleton can take over a game. Right? And the reason why I say that it's different because Chris Middleton just won the championship. And he has that kind of experience. He got that pedigree. He got championship pedigree.
That's one thing about when you win is like
Jason Tatum don't got championship pedigree, and he showed it like he totally disappeared in the finals.
Yeah, he was a empty soul. He was just skiing out there, running up and down the court.
Totally disappeared.
Like when these guys like Tatum ain't come through, then the series of Book ain't come through. These guys that was mentored by Kobe.
Stop.
So
that listen.
Like,
oh my God!
I get offended when people keep mentioning Kobe's name with these
Kobe.
guys. Like, no, we're not doing that.
It took a lot out of them because they was mentored by him, and they didn't come through. You know, Kobe always come through. You know, he's the mumble. So for you not to come through when it count, and it's like the people was already saying, man, you can't compare them people to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like the Booker.
You can't.
Booker ain't come through in the playoffs, so now. Man, they don't know why they. So I can imagine how Booker feel
when you advertise that you work with Kobe. The expectation is established, and once they establish an expectation that you should have a Mamba mentality, the moment you don't have a Mamba mentality,
they hard on you. The critics gotta have you.
I know Kobe. I know Kobe on the next plane of existence, like Biggie was when he say, "Make my name taste like ass when you speak." Stop mentioning Kobe when you mention a lot of these guys, man.
I like Booker, man.
I got a question for the Guru, because you know the Guru he's a fan, man. Listen. I love the way that you're a fan, right? But I just want to know how you feel about your big three getting their ass handed to them in the Pro-Am. Jalen Brunson, he had 24 points, by the way.
Put up numbers.
Randall, Julius Randall.
Can't stand him.
And Obi Toppin. They got their ass beat by 13 in the Pro-Am. And they pros. How you feel about that? Like, I know it's possible.
It's recreational basketball at the end of the day.
Listen, it's those ass whoopers that occur that make what people like Jada can say is valid. It's a brother up north better than Jordan.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
I was in with a few brothers up north that was better than a lot of people that was in the league. However, it's recreational basketball. These guys was out there shooting shots that they'll never shoot in an NBA game.
I just know basketball is still competitive.
Yeah, and now you being in the pros.
No.
People expect you to win.
The basketball that we grew up in was competitive.
Okay.
This basketball is all about show.
I just know I ain't gonna never let my son beat me.
Nah,
if he gonna beat me, he gonna earn that.
But that's the era we grew up in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I done been to the Bramerton Center, and me and Billy was on the same team, and Billy scored. The games go to 7. Billy scored all 7 points in back-to-back games. But nobody cared because we wanted to win basketball games, right? And I felt like all of us could have won the game, but we're going to feed the hat man.
Right.
And today's basketball, it's about highlights and YouTube and clicks and, all of that. So you got Obi Toppin going between the legs dunking. You got Julius Randle shooting from the hash mark. You got Jalen Brown. You know what I mean? You got a lot of stuff that's not going to happen in a basketball game. Whereas in our era, if you had players from our era playing against a pro-am team, their mindset is we not letting these dudes beat us because we in the league.
Right.
These people are just out there like we giving the fans a show. Like, nah, that's not our mentality. We didn't grow up with that mentality. We grew up with the mentality that if we lace up our sneakers or we lace up our cleats, we out here to win.
We out here to win.
I ain't out here to put on a show.
So something else that happened this week, WNBA star Brittany Griner, she was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison for possession of cannabis. 0.7 grams of cannabis, oil at that. What's your thoughts on that, Guru?
You know me, bro. I can't sympathize with a whole lot of people that's doing time. People gave me 20 years when I had a scholarship to the University of Miami, so I can't sympathize with you. You broke the law.
Oh my God!
Do the crime, you gotta do the time.
God.
You know what I mean? Simple as that. Them 9 years gonna go faster than my time.
Oh my God! 9 years for a 0.7.
I hope she keep her spurs up.
But it's people here that's doing more time for less, right? So
and now I'm in a Russian prison with a bunch of people that don't understand what they're saying.
About 6'8"?
Yeah.
But the Russian law is the Russian law.
Yeah.
So are we gonna cater to the Russian law based upon that is a celebrity?
So it's a politic
we
swap them out.
I don't think we're gonna cater to the Russian law. I think they were saying that's a formality.
They try to swap them
Yeah,
out.
Russia want their man back.
Want them back.
Right, and the man they want was like an assassin or something.
He was a savage.
I ain't. One thing about me, I ain't mad at Russia.
Russia can say, okay, we got him by the balls because
the USA playing games.
It's a publicity thing. It's all
right.
Yeah,
it's all out there now. So is the United States gonna really let this lady ain't never done a day stay in there?
Y'all playing games, we gonna play games.
We got LeBron hand speeches, Carmelo, people coming forward saying things. So if they really gonna let this lady sit in there, and these people got all this, so I'm saying, it's buying them to go make something happen.
So let me ask you, before you go, Avery, let me ask y'all one question. Did she break the law?
Yes, she did.
Do you know the Russian law?
No, I don't know, but she violated.
And far as the sentencing, because that's in the guidelines of the sentencing, right? And I don't think the lady deserved 9 years. Let me say that first and foremost. The lady don't deserve 9 years in prison for that. But that's on the law book. And when the people convicted me, one of the things they said was ignorance of the law is no proof of innocence.
What's it, black or white, man?
If you don't know the law and you break it, it's no proof that you're innocent. And what we're missing in all this is that Brittany Griner pled guilty. So she admitted that she broke the law.
Well, she pled guilty as a formality.
So
keep it in mind if you're in Russia, right? If you're in Russia and your lawyer is telling you plead guilty so that we can swap you out for somebody else.
I was in Virginia. My lawyer told me to plead guilty. I told my lawyer, "Listen, do you want to get paid or not?"
And you did 20 years behind it, right?
And she gonna do 9.
Yeah. No, they gonna swap her out somehow.
Well, they ain't had nobody to swap out with the Guru, but everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. Man.
Right.
I wish her the best.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, man. But
I sure hope
one thing about me, if you break the law, you break the law.
You break the law, you break the law. Straight up.
You do the crime, you do the time.
Keep the spirits up.
Yeah,
basketball play all your life, and then you just boom. people just, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
she got to keep her spirits up on this one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know the women in there looking at her like a chocolate steak because she like a
6'8".
dude. She a straight up dude in there.
Coming in when they was bringing her from court.
But she famous over there.
But she was so tall.
Yeah, she is.
The deputies walking her through the little.
Yeah,
She's 6'8".
bigger than everybody,
Wow.
towering over everybody. All right, so in other news, Serena Williams, she said that she's gonna be retiring after the U.S. Open.
Hell of a resume, man. I've
go.
seen it on SportsCenter, man. 23 championships. Been playing 25 years, got 23 chips. They claim it'll never be done again. It'll never be done again.
Somebody got 24. Like she got
second.
one more.
She's second behind somebody.
Right.
With 23.
But I think that person's career was like longer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
They say Serena was winning there since she came in.
She is the GOAT. 100%.
She the GOAT in my
never
opinion.
be done, man. The numbers that she put, I watched it last night on SportsCenter. They claim it. Billie Jean King. The people claim it'll never be done again.
And I think a big part of it is the way she used to win. Like she was beating people where they couldn't respond to her. You know what I'm saying?
Roy Jones, when Roy Jones was beating up people, man, and people was so they didn't like it, man.
He'll put his hand in
like
their face and just punch.
And it was like, you need to move up. You know, they Larry Mercer get upset. You need to go up. You know, they made the man move up. He was dominating. So that's what she remember. Like just dominate the sport where you can just go to be hated. You know what I'm saying? We just keep winning repeatedly. All landslide victories, no nail biters.
That's what makes sports. Right. That's for sure.
That's what makes you who you are. You know what I'm saying? No nail biters. You just dominate from day one.
Well, hey, I wish her nothing but the best because definitely she the GOAT. And
how was the sister though? The sister, how far did the sister make it, man?
The sister up there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she ain't accomplished quite what Serena did.
She got plenty.
She got a handful
before Serena.
Yeah, she was.
Little sister just was a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, and she ain't got the tail Serena's able to carry around.
That's amazing.
Fortunately.
All
right, so look, let's take a break. Let's take a break. Coming up, we got some NFL, and we got some rank 'em. So we'll be back. Bet More Sport. Welcome back to the BETMOOR Sports Podcast. I am your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Trobin Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
The Guru is in the building. Like I said before, you better get you one. And, of course, we sitting here with the legend, the Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
My man, Billy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been beautiful building with y'all fellas, man.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm telling you now, Steph Curry didn't start that shit, man.
The deep three ball.
He ain't started. All right. I seen it with my own too. All right, so of course we know NFL training camp is on the way, and all the teams are out there, and they doing as much work as they can. They putting in work, trying to see what they look like. We even started preseason. We had the Hall of Fame game this week, right? Which was a disaster in my opinion. But this week we got actual preseason week 1 starting, right? Week 1 of 3.
Already, man.
That means that we are that close to the NFL season starting. And even though it's all about the start, everything isn't settled. You know, you got Roquan Smith with the Bears. He requested a trade because they don't want to pay him.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Kareem Hunt, they don't want to pay him with the Browns. And from what I'm seeing, both of these teams need a quarterback. And Jimmy G is just sitting there waiting to be picked up. So I'll take Roquan Smith and Kareem Hunt, either one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're not going to use Jimmy G, I know we're going to use them.
Right.
For sure. So what you think about those trade requests, Guru?
People want out. They want their money. Roquan Smith, he won't go to the Niners. They don't need Jim. They need Jimmy G, but they don't need Jimmy G because they got their eggs in Justin Fields' basket. But I think that the Kareem Hunt for Jimmy G swap is more realistic because of the Deshaun Watson situation.
Right.
He got the suspension looming. Jimmy G can come in and give you 6 games quality with that roster, and you can be 4-2. 5-1, possibly.
Mike still can get through. We can slip through the cracks.
From the way it's looking, though, Deshaun Watson might not play this year.
He's gonna play.
They shooting for 12.
We already
They shooting for the whole year.
We discussed that last week.
Right.
That's just the formality that they got to go through to make themselves look good. He's not getting suspended. The NFL Players Association will never go for that.
They said the commissioner shoot for 12 games, not for 16.
It's the
No,
NFL. They shoot for the whole year. He's shooting for 17 games.
I think my biggest thing is you got Roger Goodell. He went on TV and said that he should. The facts are there that he's guilty.
He's supposed to do that.
You know, but my biggest thing is he's also the person assigning, the person that's presiding over the appeal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where it's nothing outside of the NFL Players Association that is supporting Deshaun Watson right now. Right. Because it's many people who feel like 6 games is not enough.
But that's the biggest piece of this pie.
Yeah.
Is the NFL Players Association. Because they pretty much run the league outside of the commissioner.
Right.
And they don't want to bump heads because you end up with something called a
The
lockout.
Browns forced to have a backup because they don't know what's going to happen. So they forced it. Somebody got to fill that gap, right?
Right.
So that's why I say the trade for Jimmy G was the best case scenario for the Browns.
So the Browns,
Because even if he is suspended for a year, you got a formidable starting quarterback for a year. And you don't need Kareem Hunt because you got Nick Chubb.
I take my hat off to the Browns organization because they get a man $200 million and not knowing what we're going to get. You know what I'm saying? We bring you
They
in.
kind of knew.
We bringing us in. Well, we got a man Watson quarterback. And then, boom, we ain't even paying first year. But we still, we paid you to come there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that we knew there was anything was possible. We're going to bring you in, but we could take a chance of losing.
Well, I think it was one of those things where they had to jump on it first or somebody else was. You know what I'm saying?
Mayfield, they was already like, we got to get something.
Right. And they had to have somebody in place.
Right.
And in order to, because before Deshaun Watson got signed to the Browns, it was reported that the Browns was out of the running. It was down to the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Right. And then out of nowhere,
when you flash $230 million, put you back in the running.
Exactly.
He wasn't no slouch, man.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So he was coming into the season like he ain't played because of all the allegations, but he had a hell of a resume. So I knew somebody was gonna get him. You know what I'm saying?
And I think something people don't realize as well is that he ain't played last year on his own. It wasn't that they set him out. He chose not to play. So some people try to say, well, he was penalized by not playing last year, but it ain't that he was penalized. Yeah, he actually chose on his own to not play.
He said, well, at least we know that he ain't take nothing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't rape nobody. It was just like all these women came forward. I was like,
listen,
he ain't rape nobody. He ain't said nothing. And then it just came out of the blue. I thought, the man asked for a trade. He didn't want to be there. Then boom, allegations start coming out of nowhere.
And we talked about this before. Those allegations are, I get it, but when you got 60 masseuses in 15 months,
I don't even know. We found the time to get all that.
How many massages do you really need?
The man got to go to sleep and wake up.
It's football, man. It's a
doing
brutal sport.
It's a brutal sport.
Y'all basketball players, y'all don't understand the brutality of the game of football, man. It's a brutal sport, man. You want to,
Yeah,
get different hands on you every, chance you get.
Some people got 3 or 4 masseuses, traveling or whatever. He had 60. And he was finding them on Instagram and Facebook and all the social media sites. But so what we started doing is what we call a versus. So we take 2 legends and we put them in a versus. We put them head to head against each other, right? So this week in the versus, we got 2 legendary linebackers, Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis. So when you're talking about Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis, I can say their careers are comparable. Like when I say they are extremely similar, but they're also different. So just to kind of go over some of the statistical accomplishments of each of them. starting with Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor had 10 Pro Bowls. 3 times he was Defensive Player of the Year. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He won the league MVP. He was a 10-time All-Pro, and I believe he got a Super Bowl.
Great, yeah, with the Giants.
And that's all in a 13-year career.
Okay.
Then you got Ray Lewis, who was a 12-time Pro Bowler. He was Defensive Player of the Year twice. He wasn't Rookie of the Year at all, but he was 10 times All-Pro, and he had 2 Super Bowls. But he did all that in 17 years. So, Billy, who you think had the better career?
I like Lawrence Taylor, Lawrence Taylor was changed the game, you know what I'm saying? I like Lawrence. For both of them, when you said those names, I visualized both of them. Like, you could draw them, and one side could be Lawrence, one side could be,
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because both of them was aggressive, you know what I'm saying? Like, game changers and determined, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get this job done to win, you know what I'm saying? So, they both was hungry, you know what I'm saying? So, they both, but I like Lawrence. I like Lawrence. Ray Lewis I like Ray because he was a great motivator.
Yeah,
Great motivator. So I can imagine that being that huddle, and he's leading you. He's going to bring the best out you. You know what I'm saying? And he got the job done. Like, he could play. He was all over the field. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was like a coach on the field and putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? So that'll make anybody that's playing with somebody, a coach's player, put in the work, come to you, talk to you, and you witnessing what he's doing. So it's only right for you to get yours together. You know what I'm saying? So I like that about Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Guru? Who you got?
Did you really have to ask me that? And let me clear something up before you go on any further. LT got 2 Super Bowls as well.
Okay, I didn't know.
Don't discredit my man. My man got
all about Super Bowl.
No, but my man won. My man won.
I know that about you, Guru. If you ain't got no chips,
that's him.
That's one thing about
that's
you.
him.
That's me.
That's him.
No,
that's him.
Chips matter.
But what I'm saying,
right? Have some chips.
I agree to a degree, but he threw that. Ray Lewis had 2. You got to throw Lawrence Taylor got 2 too.
All right. Listen, I didn't know. I thought he had just one, but
he got 2
championship.
But one thing about LT, like you said, Billy, changed the game, right? He changed the game at that position, right.
He was unblockable at one point, man.
And his whole career, and they played 2 totally different positions.
So I got a question on that. Because a lot of highlights, I see Lawrence Taylor standing up, like on that end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of his was on the end. I never seen him on the inside, but he was more like stand up.
He was an outside linebacker.
He stood up.
Pass rusher.
I ain't really never see him down on 3. He's always good on that end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So him and Ray definitely played different positions.
Lawrence Taylor was the original water boy.
I go with that one. I go with Bobby Boucher. He was unblockable, but he was in the backfield distracted.
The water boy was
distracted. I go with that. That's a good one.
Bobby
Boucher was back there.
Don't compare Lawrence Taylor to the water boy. Ray Lewis was the original water boy. Lawrence Taylor was the original Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, you say Ray was the water boy. We go with Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher was Ray Lewis.
I go with that one.
But they was both great, Yes.
Absolutely.
They was both great, and they both was transcenders.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Ray revitalized the middle linebacker position, but I seen middle linebackers that I can compare to Ray.
Mm-hmm.
What about my man with the big eyes?
I never seen nobody I can compare to
for the Bears. What about my man for the Bears?
Mike Dick. I mean, not you talking about
Singletary.
Mike Singletary. He was a middle linebacker, right?
They both. Ray a middle linebacker.
Both of them move a little different.
Ray better than Mike. I get Ray the edge over
Ray
Mike.
accomplished more than Mike. I can't say he better, but he
okay, I would say that.
Good on his feet,
He accomplished more than Mike.
Just sit in that hole. Singletary sit in that hole and just.
Singletary was a bad boy.
Yeah, he was.
And Singletary was on one of the best defenses ever.
So why y'all taking Ray over Single then? Why would y'all go with that one?
Because Ray's more accomplished.
He did more.
He did far more.
Okay, so it's all about doing more and chips. You know what I'm saying?
What's the point of playing if you don't accomplish nothing?
So Karl Malone couldn't get him a chip.
But he also was the number 2 leading scorer in the NBA. He had personal accomplishments.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, even then, Thurman Thomas couldn't get over that hump either, And
it's hard to
do. Anybody got Thurman Thomas in their top 10 running backs all the time? No.
Why?
I don't.
Top 20.
Why? His numbers there. So is it numbers? Do he got good numbers?
His numbers is all right.
He got
He's solid. He been
the
to
numbers
four
for the
championships.
conversation.
Why you can't put him in that bracket?
Because it's 10 people better than him. That's all. As a running back, period, it's 10 people better than him.
And then
it's
as
not
a
10
people, we like show. Thurman Thomas won't.
Simple.
He won't fancy.
Right.
We like fancy.
Right.
You know what I mean? We like
fancy.
we like-
That's our problem.
exactly.
Like fancy.
Right, to a
Might get
degree.
more credit if you was the one that had the oohs and all.
Right.
Right.
Somebody could be fundamentally sound, got the job done, but he gonna be over. Ain't anybody naming his name.
That's why we love Barry Sanders so much, because Barry Sanders was one of those. He didn't accomplish it. I mean, outside of
winning a championship.
right. As far as
But he was the league leading rusher.
Right. I mean, he had his own personal accomplishments, but as far as a player in a team sport, he didn't accomplish anything.
He was the best player on the team.
Yeah, best
Right.
He was the only player on the team.
Yeah. Right.
And
But
they didn't give him no help.
And they had to put
even
him in the
then-
box because he the only. He still was able to get them numbers, knowing that he's getting the ball with no help.
Right.
That's amazing.
And it is amazing, but what did he accomplish? And if we spoke in regards to his accomplishments from a team perspective, he would be at the bottom 5th percentile.
And the
You know what I'm
reason is
saying?
because the team
But
wasn't
see,
winning. That's why.
But see, when you mention that, right?
If you ain't winning,
But hold on,
Guru.
Billy, because the word was, what did he accomplish?
Right.
The man was all pro every year he
Yes.
played in the NFL.
Hands down.
He made the Pro Bowl every year he played in the
Hands down.
NFL. The man never rushed for less than 1,200 yards every year he played in the NFL. Those are his accomplishments.
Right. What I'm saying is,
Now, as a
right.
team-
in a team sport, what
But-
do those accomplishments mean?
But
if your
that's
team
what I'm
ain't doing
saying.
it?
In a
That's why
team
it's
sport,
hard.
it means nothing. But when you got a player that, who else can say that?
Right.
The leading rusher in NFL history can't say that he was an All-Pro every year he played.
And it just hard.
Nobody really can say that I was an All-Pro every year I played. Like, that is a great accomplishment.
Now I do know one player that can say, I don't know if they can say they're all pro, because all pro is a little different.
Mhm.
But it's one player in the league right now that I feel like is the best receiver in the league. That's better than anybody, but his accomplishments are substantial, and I don't think a lot of people realize it.
Is it my man from the Cardinals?
Nope.
What's his name for the Cardinals?
Mike Evans. Do you realize Mike Evans been in the league for 8 years? And
Evans, he got some good numbers.
every year he's been in the league, he's caught for over 1,000 yards. He has 1,000-yard receiving year every single season.
Tampa Bay. Mike Evans is, to me, the most underrated receiver. in the
100%.
Is there the reason is because of where he's at, or he's just
The
saying-
reason is because he ain't as fancy as these other
Right,
receivers. He
exactly.
go about his work.
Exactly.
You know, he kind of
Get the
like,
job done.
right, what we were saying earlier about Thurman Thomas. He's not as fancy.
Okay.
He ain't the
Fundamentally
flashy
sound.
receiver,
Right.
but if you look up the numbers, you know, him and Devontae Adams came in the league at the same time.
Yep.
And their numbers are not even comparable,
And
but
you know how many 1,000-yard receiving seasons Devontae Adams had? 3.
right.
3 out of 8. And you got Mike Evans. He got 1,000-yard receiving season every season of his career.
So that
And
means-
I don't think a lot of people realize that. While we sit here looking at who the best receiver, he is the most consistent receiver
so who
I've
considered
seen.
Supposed to be the best receiver there. in the
Supposedly Devontae Adams.
league? Okay. You going with that one?
No, I'm going Mike Evans at this
Oh,
point.
my God.
Because he's seen the numbers.
Listen.
Numbers-
The
one
moment
thing about the
I
numbers,
learned
man.
this valuable
Them numbers is
information,
something, boy.
that's what you got. That's the only thing you can really base things on.
Black and white something, Steve.
We
We
could-
Guru, they got to go off them numbers, man.
We can use
No,
the eye
but
test.
see, the thing, like I say, Mike Evans is the most underrated because if you name everybody top 5 receivers in the league, it's probably nobody gonna name Mike Evans.
Exactly.
And-
Exactly.
But when
His
I
name ain't
but
gonna be
when I
spoken
when I
of.
look over the body of work, right, you can't deny that the man has never had less than 1,000 yards in the season.
Ever-
You can't deny it, and he ain't played with Tom Brady his whole career.
Right.
Right? So that's something that you can't argue. Every year this man been in the league, he's been over 1,000 yards. Like, and I'm talking about he played season when he's been injured. He didn't play the whole season. Man, 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah. He's
and can run.
But
you don't mention him with the
is that Mike?
Mike
Is that Mark?
with the Devontae Adams, with the Cooper Cups, with the even
DeAndre Hopkins.
No, D Hop, with the Stephon Diggs.
So that boy,
like
what's the boy from the
Justin Jefferson. You can name 7. I can name 7 receivers that they'll put over Mike Evans right now. Everybody.
And don't neither one of them got over 6 seasons with 1,000 yards.
And he is the most consistent in the league right now, doing what he do.
I like that big receiver. Who he played with? I think he was with Russell Wilson. What was his name?
DK Metcalf.
That's a big boy, man. And he fast.
He's no Mike. He's no Mike Evans.
He's no Mike Evans.
But he's a big boy, man.
He's definitely comparable to Megatron.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
You know what I'm saying? If you look at body type, speed, and ability, you know what I'm saying? He don't got nobody to get him the ball the way he's capable of.
When I said, man, you would think he'd get his touches because the average DB about 5'9", 5'10". So it's like he gonna get that spacing.
That's why I said, listen, Seattle, trade Tyler Lockett to San Francisco and take Jimmy G. Yeah, I could play us.
This man want to trade everybody for Jimmy G.
Listen, everybody need Jimmy G, bro. At some point,
Garoppolo, man, he on the market like that out here, man.
Do Seattle not need Jimmy G?
They do.
Cleveland need Jimmy G too, right? At this point,
they do.
So he's a phone call away. Somebody gonna ring this line then.
Somebody
he definitely going somewhere.
Absolutely,
he's going. He gonna go to a contender.
Yeah, people don't realize that there's only 5 quarterbacks who got a 70% win percentage in the last 10 years, and you know who one of them is? Jimmy Garoppolo.
So I got a question: is the pressure on my man Jackson for Baltimore? If he can't get the job done this year, far as I know they ain't gonna win a Super Bowl, but what they looking for him?
How you know they ain't gonna win the Super Bowl?
He ain't got Baltimore. He ain't got the receivers, do it?
No, he don't. I don't got.
They put the pressure
Baltimore
on Jackson.
If
he don't have a good year, I got them people getting them out of there.
But my thing is this,
he
right?
ain't even got the tools, and they gonna put the pressure on that man.
I don't feel like he got nothing else to really prove outside of winning a playoff game. He won a playoff game.
That's what I'm saying.
His career solidified. He damn near a Hall of Famer. Damn near.
Got to beat Rodgers. Got to beat Holmes. They come to Baltimore. You got to get them wins. I feel like this year he got to get certain wins to keep that job in Baltimore. If he don't get certain wins, they don't get him out of there, man.
I don't see a logical reason for them to get him out of there because, number one, they ain't gave him nothing.
What do you think, Guru? You think the pressure on this year?
The pressure's always on him, but he's the franchise quarterback.
Right. He is the team. He's everything.
The best running back, the best quarterback, everything.
This is the contract where he can get some money, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one way shooting for the money.
Right.
Okay. So that
well, I think they're gonna pay him.
Have a decent season.
I think they're gonna pay him before the season.
Baltimore gonna win the division if they stay healthy.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. They just got to stay healthy.
Because if you don't have a good season, quarterback shoot for top dollar. Your
right.
season ain't good, you shoot for top dollar. It's a negotiation. We ain't trying to give you that. You know what I'm saying? So, well, you got to go there because your numbers won't right.
And he his own agent, so it's a little different on his side. But I feel like if he had an agent, he would have had a deal done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
he ain't got no receivers, and they put that pressure on him like that.
And they getting rid of the receivers that he did have. So you know what I'm saying? It's like they stacking the deck up against him, but every time he proven wrong. Even if he don't win a playoff game, he is taking his team and putting the team on his back. And at the end of the day, if you take a player like that and you give him something, right. That's like putting Kevin Durant on Boston. You know what I'm saying? If you take Lamar Jackson and put him on, let's say, hypothetically speaking, San Diego or the LA Chargers, because they ain't in San Diego no more. You put him there, that's a whole nother team. You put him in Denver, that's a whole nother team. At the end of the day, they ain't giving him nothing. The expectation is for him to succeed with nothing. And I think when the deck is stacked against you that much, that's either respect or disrespect.
Right. So another thing, I haven't really heard Cam Newton. Is he done with football, man?
I don't think he done with football, but
somebody gonna give him a gig.
Somebody gonna get one in the middle of the season when their quarterback get hurt.
Everybody says his name. He had a hell of a legacy. Do Charlotte bring him back? I mean, do they bring him back?
They brought him back last year and stumped the field up.
Yeah, so well, his first play, he scored a touchdown.
I think
that was it, though.
Like if Belichick can't work with you, if certain people can't work with you, it's like, oh man, we can't do nothing with him. If Belichick couldn't do nothing with him, I said that kind of hurt.
I think Belichick's system So you take the type of quarterback that he is, and you look at Belichick's system and the type of quarterbacks he's had. You know what I'm saying?
Throw the rock in the ocean, Belichick though. You got to hit the target.
Nah.
One thing
Literally.
Cam Newton want to tuck it and run. 6'5", big boy.
Or he want to throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
There ain't no accuracy behind it.
5 yards away. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's the only thing that hindered him. I said, man, Cam do not hit them moving targets, man. He can tuck it and run, but you got to throw that ball in Belichick's system. You got to throw that ball.
That's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? He gave up a ton of games. I think one game I watched him play, they had a game-winning drive on, and he just fumbled right at the goal line.
I said, boy, he left a bad taste of Belichick, Bob. I said, dang, Cam.
It's crazy.
He had a good run, though.
All right, so let's talk about the NFC South, because today we are breaking down the NFC South, and if you don't know, the NFC South consists of the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so what we're going to do is kind of go through the division and get some insight on who you feel like is going to win the division and who you feel like is more overrated or underrated in the division. So just to kind of give you some insight on the division itself, the Atlanta Falcons, they don't got a ton of assets, but the ones that really stand out, Matt Ryan moved to Indianapolis, but they got Marcus Mariota. I think he's going to be their starter this year.
Tennessee?
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to my man.
Then they got Kyle Pitts, which he's a tight end. He's probably top 10, within the top 10, somewhere in there. And this is his second year. So, he's legit. But they don't got much. Then they got Calvin Ridley, who was suspended all year last year for gambling. So
Suspended all year this year.
Oh, it's this year?
For gambling.
Oh, man, I ain't know that. I ain't realize that. I thought he was already done.
Spending his money on gambling.
No, he was hurt last year. He got suspended this year.
The Falcons, I feel like when they was up 28-3 and lost, that is like it's got to be such thing as curses, man. I swear, it's like I knew that organization would never. Certain losses organizations can go through and they would not bounce back.
I don't think they've been to the playoffs since.
I said that right there, 28-3, and you can't. That just like it's certain things that you just don't bounce back from, man.
Well, that's the Tom Brady effect. I guess you can call that 50 Cent and Ja Rule.
Certain things you just can't bounce back from, man.
So the Carolina Panthers, they got quarterback competition going on. They got
Mayfield,
Baker Mayfield, and
I think you got to go with Mayfield due to man better than the center, a little bit of experience. I think you got to go with Mayfield.
Yeah, I mean,
Baker Mayfield's thinking it up in camp.
Well, no, they saying that he actually outplaying Sam Darnold right now.
Well, but at first, Sam Darnold was outplaying him.
Okay, so
Baker gonna start.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's
what
it look like.
You don't bring in a player knowing what Sam Darnold already is capable of.
I say they got to start
and not start.
He gonna hang his up on his own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
You got to put the veteran out there, Mayfield.
Now New Orleans look.
Saints.
They look all right. I mean, Jameis Winston just got hurt this week. But they're not saying it's serious to where he's going to miss a substantial amount of time.
Who was behind him? Number 7?
Andy Dalton is behind him right now.
Problem to the guy that was who was the guy that was a quarterback? But he used to run the ball, like tuck it and run. Winston went down and he was doing all right for the Saints.
Well, he wasn't a quarterback. He was really
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he was like Tebow.
He was a Tim Tebow.
He was hot commodity. They was getting victories. He was getting the job done.
But he was doing well when they put him in the game to throw the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wins.
But I guess they'd rather go with the gunslinger Jameis.
Yeah,
especially because, I guess Jameis' goal is to not turn the ball over as much.
Yeah, Jameis had 30 picks in the Bucks.
Yeah. He had 30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
He felt, though. He threw 30 picks. They traded him and filled his only spot. They filled his spot. And they won a Super Bowl.
Well, they filled his spot with the GOAT.
Yeah, that's
what
that was Brady.
When you think about it, Brady changes everybody's mentality. Period.
Yeah.
People come in, they feel like, I got to step my game up.
That's everything. We playing pickup ball, and you got somebody that's coach. Yeah, it's true. We got everybody mindset knowing that we got this other good ball player, so we gonna bring the best out of him because he know who we playing with.
And
I can see that.
Speaking of which, Tampa Bay, they the fourth team in the division. And of course they got Tom Brady and Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans and Julio Jones and Chris Godwin. They got a ton. Tom Brady is going to a buffet, and
they said that front line got the hold up. I seen ESPN. They said that front line. That's the only thing skeptical.
Yep, because they just lost their starting center, I think.
You know, one of these young boys want to get to Brady. You know, somebody want to get to Brady.
Everybody want to get to Brady.
Somebody, that's why they say that front line got the whole up, because somebody trying to get to him.
I don't even think they tired of him, because for them, especially on the defensive side, Tom Brady is an opportunity.
And somebody trying to get to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If I could get to Tom Brady, you realize if I can get to the GOAT.
A good lick. It's about the guys, the youngest that respected him, the defense. Is they really trying to get a good lick on him, or they just want to tackle? You know, is they trying to get a good lick on him, like they really put him down? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think nobody on defense just trying to tackle somebody. I think everybody's trying to murder, kill.
That's Brady back there too. Now.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I slip through and get a good lick. They're trying to send him on his way. I said, oh man, Brady, I hope his front line hold up, because I know the guy's trying to get to him. He's been out there all these years,
right.
Man.
So Guru, riddle me this: who do you think is the best team in that division?
Bucks.
To Bucks. Who you got, Billy?
I guess I'm gonna go with the Bucks. You know, it's hard to go against Brady. He done came back. He ain't on the couch no more. He came back in the league. You know, automatic they're a contender.
Now, out of all the teams there, of course, we got the Bucks as the best team. But what team do you feel like is overrated?
I wouldn't say nobody. I think everybody got good teams, man. You know,
I think New Orleans is overrated. Personally,
I think New Orleans is the second best team in the division.
overrated.
that's because the bottom two teams is trash.
Right.
But
So
I feel
if
like
I
they
do-
overrated because they're putting a ton on Michael Thomas, and he ain't played in 2 years.
I can go with that them being overrated simply because we don't know what is going to come about with Alvin
Right.
Kamara.
And
Right.
he out for
But
what,
if you
first
got
game?
Alvin Kamara in that roster, then quite naturally they're the second best, or even the best possibly team in that division, because they got Tampa Bay number.
Well, they definitely gonna compete.
They got Tom Brady number.
I don't think nobody got Tom Brady number.
New Orleans had, they only lost that one game, and that was in the playoffs to Tom Brady.
That's the game that count.
Right, it's the game that
That's
counts.
Brady time.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, though. They still got his number. So if you can win 2 games against Tom Brady in the regular season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna win 2 games against Carolina, and you're gonna win 2 games against Atlanta with Marcus Mariota as the quarterback. So you got 6 division games.
Marcus Mariota was good too, man. I thought Tennessee, they would keep him. With Henry and all them guys. I thought Tennessee was ringing a bell. You know, with Henry back there, playoff time, it was always Tennessee. But it's just somebody just couldn't come through, man.
Marcus
Tennessee.
Mariota, I feel like he was kind of overrated.
He is.
You know, and we'll see what he's capable of this year. I just, at this point, he's not coming in as a backup. He's coming in as the guy, and if he can make a difference, it'll stand out. But I don't see it happening.
The
I like
skill set
Chargers
don't fit the
quarterback.
NFL.
Chargers got a good
Right.
quarterback. I like him. Chargers.
Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah,
He's good, man. I think they're going to.
yeah.
I think Chargers is like, they got a good squad. Football is
Oh yeah,
interesting, man.
Chargers got a great squad on paper for sure.
Like everybody, back in the days coming up, people was kind of like bashful when they liked the team, they wouldn't speak on it. Like football, everybody got good teams now, so it's so everybody, the fan of their team, everybody's like, they don't have no problems being, yeah, I like this team, because everybody got good teams. Back in the days, it was always 49ers and certain teams that you knew that was getting there.
I'm
Now
glad you
today's
said
football,
49ers.
it's like everything balanced out. Everybody got good rosters. Anybody can be beat on any given Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's definitely in a
it's-
given
it's
Sunday.
definitely in
it
a
ain't
given
like
Sunday.
basketball.
But right
Basketball
now-
is a series. You got to beat somebody 4 times.
Avery. Who you got winning the South?
Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay winning the South.
Give me the top. Give me your 4 in order.
All right, so I got Tampa Bay at first. I got New Orleans at second, Carolina third, and Atlanta fourth.
I got the same.
Yeah, that bracket there. Yeah, you got to go with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless some major injuries or something just go to the left.
Right.
I don't see anything substantially standing out that'll make me feel like
Right.
anything different. You know what I'm saying? What about the team that you feel like is most underrated in that division?
I got the team that you said was overrated, New Orleans.
New Orleans. So you feel like they're underrated?
Yeah.
They still got the same head coach?
Because if you got
No.
they don't.
He gone too, yeah.
Because if you got a quarterback that has thrown for 5,000 yards in this league, right? And he threw for 30 touchdowns. We know he threw for 30 interceptions, but he threw for 5,000 yards. That's something that a lot of people can't say in this league. And you got a surefire number one receiver like Michael Thomas.
But you
just
why that
picked
is,
up the
right?
Honey Badger. So the Saints' defense ain't bad.
But you know why that type of quarterback can throw for 5,000 yards? Because it's no caution behind him. He ain't trying to protect the ball. He just trying to sling that shit. And
Right.
it's always a 50-50 throw when you throw it. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to look at a lot of the young quarterbacks that was in the league that did the same thing.
Well, it seems like players right now are more afraid to do it because they feel like they're going to lose their spot if they turn the ball over.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying?
James
is
Winston ain't give a
lot
damn.
of those quarterbacks coming into the league threw a lot of interceptions early in their career.
Right. Okay.
But still, to throw for 5,000 yards in the National Football League is a great accomplishment.
Yes, sir.
Right.
5,000 yards.
And then
Man.
you in a system where even last year, before he got hurt, his turnovers were limited.
Right.
But the yards were still up there.
He was showing up, definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
So-
So, and they was winning games that a lot of people didn't bet them to win. So it's interesting to see. I think that they're the most underrated team in that division.
Definitely looking forward to it. So outside of that, who the best player in the division?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Hey, you got to go with the GOAT,
I mean, I guess it's a no-brainer when you look at the division and Tom Brady is the only real quarterback in the division. I hate to say it that way.
There's certain people, if you don't take in conversations, they look at you like you got to go with Brady. You got to go with the Michael Jordan. When you don't say these certain names and topics, you're an outcast. Like, what do you mean, man?
I mean, you got to have a logical reason why you chose who you chose. You know what I'm saying? If you choose anybody in that division outside of Tom Brady, what reason could you possibly give that exceeds Tom Brady?
The only person you can really name is Mike Evans.
Yeah, literally.
He's the most underrated player in the division.
He's the most
Or the
underrated.
Honey Badger.
Right. Well, I feel like Mike Evans is the most underrated player in the division. He probably the most underrated player in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. When you look at the overall body of work.
Right. I don't feel like there's not one other player in the league right now that got over 5,000-yard receiving seasons. You know what I'm saying? And I think that goes a long way. And the top the top paid players, they don't got over 4. Like I don't think the Cheetah got over 4,000-yard receiving season. Devontae Adams.
Guys catching the ball like Shannon Sharp, like 100+ catches.
Oh yeah, they getting a ton of yards and they racking up yards.
They getting 100 catches.
They getting 100 catches.
Yeah, because they're getting 200 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Ball thrown to him.
They getting force fed.
It's not hard to catch 100 balls when you get 180 thrown your way.
Right, exactly.
So what about the other guys that's going out for passes too? They come back to the huddle, ain't getting no.
They come back to the huddle tired.
I guess that's when your check come in there.
That's just like
running out there. You ain't getting no man getting 100 catches. I mean, he's really being targeted.
That's just like when you score all 7 points in Brampton, you had 4 other teammates, Billy.
Same way, man.
All right, so look, let's step away again. Let's take another break, and when we come back, we got to rank them. So we'll be back. Bet More Sports. Welcome back to the Bet More Sports Podcast. I am your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, of course, Steven Troutman Bay, but you know him as
the Guru.
Yes, sir. And again, we got the Steph Curry before Steph Curry in the building. We call him Billy.
What's up, folks? We back again, baby. We back on air. We back.
Yes. And at this point, we are at the segment that we call Rank 'em. And we're going to be pretty much ranking 5 players from a league. We don't know who the league is yet. I'm going to share it with you. And we're going to rank them from first to worst. And we're going to start with my man Billy. Billy, on the screen, take a look. First to worst, we got Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and Kyle Pitts. Rank them.
Well, my first, I'm going to go with my man for the Chiefs. I like him, man. He got to be my number one.
Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I like Kelce.
Okay.
He makes it look easy out there. Plus, it's like, he's like a grunt, you know what I'm saying? When I see a tight end that dominated, when I see him, I think about my man that played with the Patriots, with Brady, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, he like up and coming, just like that.
He do what he want.
Yeah, he do what he want. And I'm going with the 49ers. I like my man for the 49ers.
Okay.
Second. I like my man for the, is it Steelers?
Darren Waller.
Yeah. Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. 89 for the Ravens.
Andrews.
Man,
And then Pitts.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, you got Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, and then Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I'm going with that one.
All right, Guru.
Travis Kelce. Mark Andrews, George Kittles, Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller.
Oh. That's interesting.
And I ain't going by what they done in
Right.
the league so far. I'm going by what
They're capable of.
I'm predicting them to do this year.
Okay.
So you thinking ahead, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We got the big fantasy league coming up, so I gotta go by
definitely.
what I feel like they're gonna do. Not you. Because if I go by past accomplishments, Kyle Pitts shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So this based strictly upon potential.
Okay.
Well, from a potential standpoint, I got George Kittle number
Of
one.
course you do. You're a 49er.
That's not why.
Oh,
It's not.
That's not why.
So
But
so let me ask you a question before you go any further. Let me go in before you go any further.
okay.
The pick come to you. No tight end's been taken. You taking George Kittle over Travis Kelce.
Absolutely.
And the reason is
Because
Okay.
no,
That's
because
more the
George
story, huh?
Kittle is more than a tight end. He blocks as well.
You don't know points for blocking in fantasy football.
Listen. That's from.
I said fantasy football.
Oh, fantasy.
If-
I
did you not
ain't heard
listen?
of fantasy
Yeah,
football.
That's what I said. In fantasy football,
Uh-huh.
if you got the pick, no tight ends has been taken, and it's George Kittle and Travis Kelce, all the tight ends available. You taking Kittle over Kelce.
I would take
Then you said
Kelce.
something about blocking.
I would take Kelce from the fantasy perspective because
Okay, clear.
he the number one receiver.
Clarify.
Period.
You just said you're gonna take Kittle because he can block on the trap
Right.
sweep.
I'm gonna take Kittle number one and rank him because it's more than just catching the ball with Kittle.
I can understand.
You know what I'm saying?
The big picture all the way around the board.
It's a lot of times it's about what you do without the ball. You know what I'm saying? And the only person up there that can say they do something substantial without the ball is George Kittle.
so you can run this way. It's
Uh,
gonna give you some blocks.
Exactly. And you want to know what makes Gronk so great? Is that Gronk was the same way.
He blocked.
He blocked.
You can run his way.
You know what I'm saying? So I got George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and then Kyle Pitts.
It's like Kelce name ring a bell because he went home. You know, the Chiefs
Right.
hot commodity. So it's like some of them guys like you don't really get to see. If you
And-
ain't going to Hooters and certain
Right.
channels, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know nothing about them.
And the biggest thing is we don't know what Travis Kelce is going to be without the cheetah. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill was substantial to
So you open up some
Travis
things.
Kelce. Right.
Open up some things.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll see this year for sure. We'll see what Travis Kelce really is.
Because now we know he'll gone.
Are you-
So we're going to lock in on
You
Kelce.
being serious? Or
Absolutely.
you just
I'm going to be 100% serious.
He'll
so you
gone.
don't know what Travis Kelce?
No, no.
I understand
I am
that
fully
you-
aware of what Travis Kelce has done. What I am saying to you is a big part of his success comes from what the cheetah has brought to the table.
A big part of his success is that no linebacker or safety can check this man one-on-one.
Right, but if a linebacker or safety
I don't
have,
give a damn if you line up
if they
at
don't
wide
have
receiver.
to, if they don't have
You
to
can
check
go
him.
play wide receiver, and a linebacker and safety can't check Travis Kelce.
Right. All I'm saying is if a linebacker or safety don't got to check Travis Kelce, then what?
So you just the people that Kansas City brought in, they just scrubs. Juju Smith-Schuster and Valdez Scanlon, they just scrubs.
It ain't that they scrubs, but they not Tyreek Hill. They don't require the attention that Tyreek Hill requires.
So who is Tyreek Hill without Patrick Mahomes? We don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet.
Saying that we don't know.
But that's changing the narrative because we ain't talking about Tyreek Hill.
Right.
We talking about Travis Kelce.
That's what I'm saying. So we don't know. We done brought in 2 totally new receivers. The receiver core is deeper, right?
But ain't not one of the receivers is better than the receiver core they had last year.
But the dependability on Tyreek Hill is not the same. So you're not looking for Tyreek Hill every play. Right. You got to actually
Which
go
means
through your progressions.
You're also not going to look for Travis Kelce every play either.
He's the best receiver on the team now.
On paper.
Paper.
Listen. Have we seen him without Tyreek Hill? Have we seen Travis Kelce at all without Tyreek Hill?
But we've seen him.
Okay, we've seen him with Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Right now we are talking about him without Tyreek Hill.
The deep threat gone now.
Exactly.
Okay.
If the deep threat is gone, which we all know that when you guard Tyreek Hill, you got to play off of him, right? Because if not, he's going to run right past you. Right. So in the event that now we don't really got to play off for nobody.
So you're a coach. You're a coach, right? You're a coach. Right. So as a defensive coordinator, you don't plan for Travis Kelce because Tyreek Hill ain't on the team.
I'm going to plan for Travis Kelce
because
of who he is.
For him because of who he is.
But so I am not going to plan for Travis Kelce this year the way I did last year.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're going to plan for him more.
Not at all.
He's the number 1 receiver.
Listen.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy. Avery was just.
He is going to be the number 1 receiver.
So you got to plan for him more.
Because everybody else is gone.
Right. So we got to put pressure on him. We're going to double him then.
The moment Sammy Watkins get 30 receptions for 1,500 yards, he the number 1 receiver at that point.
Exactly. So Kelce can open up the door for somebody else
easily.
Because they got the force. You got to put a man over top, man under.
Point blank period.
Somebody else get one-on-one coverage. The new guys that come in.
That's my biggest thing is is if they had somebody there who could do what Tyreek Hill could do, it's a little different.
Right.
But right when Tyreek Hill line up on the line, everybody's playing off.
Respect that.
You know what I'm saying? And when everybody's playing off, guess what? It's going to open up the door for Travis Kelce every time.
And Holmes ain't going to do just look everything off and go right to him.
Right. But do you know that Avery made a point, right? He said that no receiver had over, 4,000 yard receiver?
Mm-hmm. 4,000 receiving season.
You know, Travis Kelce's been over 1,000 yards his last 6 years in the league. At tight end.
Right.
So
Tyreek Hill hasn't been.
Tyreek
Hill hasn't been. Somebody got to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is the man been over 1,000 yards 6 years straight at the tight end position. That's not going to go away because Tyreek Hill is not there.
Hey.
You got to still check him.
I think it probably will. So I don't think he's going to get 1,000 yard receiving season this year. Personally. I don't.
It would be.
Listen.
This gonna make for a good. This gonna make for a good flashback
for everybody that is watching. Look at me. I am saying this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
This is a good flashback.
I don't think Travis Kelce is gonna have 1,000 yard receiving season.
Please don't make that bet out of our share account.
I'm assuming that you got to put 2 on him. Take away that. Let somebody else beat us.
Well, Hill gone. You can put 2 on him.
They put 2 on Megatron.
He's not Megatron. He's not Megatron. Megatron did nothing. He accomplished nothing from a team perspective in his career, but he's a Hall of Famer.
You put 2 on him, but he still put the numbers up.
Right, because you can't.
You can put 2 on Travis Kelce. He gonna put the numbers up.
Not at all.
They done it.
Listen. Who done it?
Every team that played him put 2 on Travis Kelce.
The Bengals done it in the playoffs, and what Travis Kelce do?
He claimed man over top, man underneath, tight end.
He was just looking. He was just looking and trying to figure it out.
Travis Kelce going over 1,000 yards. Do not listen to Avery. There's only one guru
listen
in the studio.
That's going to be interesting.
I don't think. I'm going to bet my money he go over 1,000.
The moment when Travis Kelce don't go for over 1,000 yards, I want the guru to come on the podcast and say, Avery, you're now the guru.
And the moment the Travis Kelce goes over 1,000 yards, I want Avery to come on the podcast and drink a YOLO.
I'll do it.
That's a tough
I'll do it.
YOLO, a tough bet.
That's how serious and substantial I am. I will
YOLO
do
glass, you got to have a designated driver with that one.
it. You better believe it.
Stand up tall, man.
You better believe. And my daughter not gonna be the designated driver.
That YOLO glass, I said, man, that's a tough. They said, well, that's a birthday drink.
Oh yeah.
That's a stiff one there.
You want to change your life?
Man, my birthday coming up, but I'm about to say that. I
Hey.
don't want to speak on it.
When?
My birthday the 22nd.
Or what?
Oh what?
This month, August.
Oh, you in line
Oh,
for a YOLO
my God.
today.
Oh my God.
You a
Get
Leo.
out of here. Yeah, I'm the last day.
Oh,
He is tripping.
Leo season is here.
Look at all that glass.
That
Fill him up.
Yes, sir. We are
Fill
YOLOing
him up.
today. We got
Hey,
a
look, we got to go to air and put water in and come back.
no. We gonna put
Water in
we gonna put what you like in there because
all over the people eyes,
we
man.
got
Go
a
to
Hall
air,
of
come back,
Famer.
Be full of water. Let me take it to the head.
We got a Hall of Famer on deck. He's a Booker T alumni. He's
Absolutely.
asking for water in his YOLO glass.
for his
And
birthday.
We're not going to do that. You are a Leo. Leo season is in full effect.
You can't
And
cheat
then-
the season.
And if you've been watching the podcast, you know if you come into the podcast in your season, you must take a YOLO.
It's YOLO season.
I
That's
take a shot glass.
that's a shot glass.
That's exactly what it is. It's a YOLO shot glass.
Hey, listen, man.
Listen.
You are a Hall of Famer.
I'm trying to get out of here and still be
Yeah.
a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's always saying, you're a Hall of Famer.
Hey.
Hall
Trying to
of
be a Hall
Fame.
of Famer, man. That's a
All
lot
right,
of look.
Billy. I ain't gonna do that to you.
I'm gonna do it to him because
Hey,
I
so
went
you
to
know,
school
you
with
like
him.
me, man. Come on,
I listen. I went to school with him. I played basketball with him. I did a lot of things with him. So I know that if
I've never
nobody
before-
in the world can take a YOLO,
He can.
Chris,
Yes. It's in
Billy
me.
Elliott
It's in me.
can
You
take a
believe
YOLO.
in me, man.
I do, man.
He
Listen,
came to
man.
come down to a drink. He believed in me.
Hey, you might as well. And you got that Kevin Hart.
And he was the first Steph Curry before Steph Curry. So
Exactly. Hey,
if he
that's,
could take a YOLO, if he could take a shot from the hash bar, he can take a YOLO.
I definitely got to support the Guru and his words because you took a ton of shots from the hash.
Like, if you could do that, I know you could.
Exactly.
Take a YOLO, man. It's like
Yo, yeah,
YOLO,
give it a
you
shot.
only live
I
once.
take it up, tone it down a lot though. Like you ain't gonna
Yeah,
fill
we
it up
got
to
you.
the
We
top.
got you. We got you.
We just gonna pull it up to the Y.
I'm
just
gonna pour
to
it
the Y.
the
I
over the
can't
way.
go. I can't drink.
The over the Y.
I got you.
I need one of them shots like that. I can't
Yeah.
drink all that
I mean, the man want to take a regular
Yeah,
birthday
I
shot.
can't do that one like that, fella. I'm trying to get
St.
out.
Augustine, if you're listening, please.
Yeah, spam
Yeah,
me.
The
St.
man
Augustine.
is a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer
spam me.
in the St.
Yeah, it's
Augustine
the
Hall
college.
of Fame. And the man want to take a regular BETMOORSPORTS sports shot
That's
on his
so
birthday. Nobody else has done
My
that.
birthday the 22nd. So you can give me a
Leo
pass.
season.
Leo season.
Leo season has begun.
Yes, Leo season.
Oh, pour that in there for him because I hate for him to. You know, yeah. Same.
Timing is everything. You know, timing is everything.
Nah, you should have
That's good
thought about
time,
that
man.
before you mentioned your birthday.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's-
I just said
that's
that
true.
When we went on the air.
100%.
I came out better.
100%. Yeah.
I could have came out better. I went on air and spoke on my birthday. Then the people go, that's a lot of liquor. I can't do Yeah, I can't do all that. Ain't no way possible.
You can do it though. You can do it.
You ain't fool.
Yeah, I can't.
Work. You only live once.
YOLO. Look, just when you go home, just drink some water. You'll be
I
alright.
can't drink all that liquor, man. I ain't gonna try. I take it to the end, but I can't drink all that liquor.
Hey, listen, you got two more people that can help you. They was like, hell no. To the-
This is a setup right here, boy.
It is a
Hey,
major
look, if you got a
setup.
birthday, don't come this way.
Do not come to the BETMOORSPORTS
Stay out of
podcast.
this building.
Stay out.
Stay out of this
Other
building.
way.
Guru,
Stay clear.
Guru took it for his birthday for sure.
I
did.
can't do that.
After
Not
I've been
a whole-
drinking the whole show.
I can't drink a whole one of those. Not that. I can't do it, fellas.
Listen.
I hate to get on air and say
Listen,
that, but
how many times did
probably hitting it though.
how many times did you say can't when you played basketball?
How many times when you shot a three did you say I can't make this shot?
I ain't never said that, but I think I used to say can't when coach wanted me to draw the charge. Like, you got to stay, you got to slide in there. He said, take it to the torso.
Take it.
Take it. He's like, oh, he coming full speed, gets somebody on the bench, don't even get in.
Who was
Tell him
that?
drive.
Oh, my
Bird
God.
Tell him
Hamlin.
drive.
Bird
He said,
Hamlin.
drive to the hole, yeah.
That was
Bird
Bird
said,
Hamlin.
drive, man, drive to the hole. No control. He tell you slide it and draw it. I'm like, Lord.
I remember Bird Hamlin.
All you hear is gloom, 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 gloom. Both for everybody hit the floor.
All right, we got one more. Rank 'em. We got one more. This is from the point guard perspective. So I want to know what y'all think. Yeah.
Interesting mystery.
This right up your alley, ain't it, Billy?
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, so let's take a look. We got.
But the game didn't change. You know what I'm saying? Like,
basketball
didn't change.
Rondo, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, John Wall, and Russell Westbrook. Who you got first to worst? I'm going to start with you, Guru. Rank them.
Because you're going off what? Do chips got to be involved, or you just going off ball players?
I'm going with this.
Ball players.
Chips ain't got
my man Chris Paul been in a lot of these little point guard lines.
He has, yeah.
I don't want to see him in no more, please. After this. No, but I'm saying, but he been in a lot of rankums.
Hey, when it comes down to point guard,
he shouldn't be in every rankum.
He been in the loop now. He's
man, I'm going. Me personally, I'm going CP3. Steve Nash, Russell Westbrook, Rondo, John Wall.
And when I look at this, it's like what you want, what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody held it down. Everybody was a sharp point. So what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? When you say who I'm gonna rank first.
Real quick, Guru, confirm. You said Steve Nash.
No, I said CP3, Steve Nash, Westbrook, Rondo, and
John Wall. Okay.
Right.
What about you, Billy? What you got?
I'm gonna go with that's a good one too. I'm gonna go with Steve Nash, break floor general, stick to 3 ball, team player. I'll go with cause I'm looking at it different. Like when I think about a guy, somebody that's got a nice package, keep the defense honest, can shoot. You know what I'm saying? So I go with Nash. I go with Westbrook. It's hard to go against Westbrook. Westbrook getting the job done. They get your triple-double. The man getting the job done. So it's hard to go against that. So I go with Nash, Westbrook. I'm gonna go with Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul can shoot 18, 50, he can stick the 3 ball. Get the ball up. I'm gonna take Rondo over. I'm gonna take a Rondo over John Wall.
Okay.
For some reason, because Rondo is more like he get a ball. He get everybody involved. Even though he don't look to score, his jump shot was kind of shaky.
Right.
But I take Rondo over John Wall.
Okay.
I take Rondo over John Wall. So I got John Wall my last one.
So just to confirm, you got Steve Nash first. Then you got Russell Westbrook, CP3, Rajon Rondo, and John Wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. That's my bracket.
I can't disagree. I mean, I got
I'll go with that one.
number 1 on my list.
Drinking too, though.
Yeah.
So
hey.
Y'all make sure y'all factor this in just in case things come back.
You ain't
like
finished
the
yet.
drink champs of sports betting. So
how you say that?
Nobody's gonna hold you 100% accountable. This is the drink champs of
You
sports.
ain't finished yet.
Give me a pass, man. I'm gonna say the alcohol has something to do with it. If the critics say, "How you come up with that one?"
Well, I got number 1 on my list. I got Russell Westbrook.
That ain't a bad choice, man.
And it's not based on him being in the Lakers.
He drinking more than you.
It's hard not to go.
Listen.
Is something special.
Who up there can say they average a triple-double for 4.5, 5 seasons?
That don't make you the best point guard in the league.
What you mean? What is the purpose of a point guard exactly? The purpose of a point guard is to take the ball, distribute the ball, and run the offense.
I can't argue with that. But however, that don't make you the best point guard in the league.
The Lakers were gonna win the chip in my book.
They didn't. They wasn't.
You bringing somebody out
him and LeBron too much.
Him and LeBron is a conflict of interest. What I'm saying is, that's why.
In my argument with Chris Paul, right? Every team Chris Paul has played for has been number 1 in the league.
Regular season.
Not number 1 in the league.
But if you regular season,
I get what you're trying to say. But they have the Oklahoma City Thunder has never been number 1 in the league with Chris Paul on it.
They was number 1 in the division.
Not in the league though.
He's a game changer. He's an X factor.
Right. No.
What I'm saying is
he's gonna switch whatever team.
He made every team he played on. The Clippers was number 1 in the division.
He always had good.
Phoenix was number 1 in the division.
But none of them has ever gotten over the hump.
No, they haven't. But it's a team game.
Yeah, it's a team.
But still, at the end of the day, Chris Paul is a great leader.
Yes, he is.
You
at the point guard position.
You know something? The point of it's a team game is 100% valid, right?
Right.
But the point guard on the team is the quarterback of the team.
Right.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, everything in regards to the offense set forth by the team goes through who?
The point guard.
The
He's
point
floor
guard.
general.
And so because it goes through the point guard, it's not about necessarily what the point guard is able to do from a scoring perspective. It's about what the point guard is able to do from a team perspective.
Right.
From a team perspective, the point guard's role is to make everybody else better.
Very important.
And if a player is able to average a triple-double in a season, which means he is averaging a specific amount of points, specific amount of rebounds, and a specific amount of assists, how can a player not make his teammates better when he's averaging double-digit assists per game for multiple seasons? Right?
That's
So-
a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I take my head off the Westbrook.
So one of the
I do
reasons
too.
Yeah, he's something
that's one of the reasons I chose Westbrook. With the Lakers, he's not a great fit. He's an awful fit actually
Yes, yes.
because him and LeBron are playing the same role.
There's no way a man can be average. Like you just said, a man averaged triple-double for 4. So automatically I say, oh, they got Westbrook. Oh, they got to win it. Because look what he bringing to the table. So there's no way I seen this coming that the man get there and stink it up.
But
Ain't
he's
throwing that,
he's
can't
bringing
shoot.
the
Like,
same thing
wow,
LeBron brings to the table.
Something ain't right.
He
They play the
averaged
same position.
a triple double without LeBron playing.
Because he dominates the ball. That's
Right,
the game.
right, and that's
LeBron
LeBron game
dominated
too.
the ball,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's the problem. Now, if you give LeBron somebody, keep in mind LeBron won with Rondo, right?
Floor general.
Now-
Not looking at.
Even
Score,
though
not
we in
looking
the
to
bubble,
score.
he not looking to score,
Right.
and LeBron is looking to score. That's the difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook is looking to score, but he's not a scorer. If that makes sense.
No, he is a scorer. I'm
He
going with he is a scorer.
he's not a score. So when I say he's looking to score, so Rondo don't look to score. Rondo would when he
pass
shoot
first.
he's gonna shoot a shot that nobody is in the vicinity of him.
And Rondo also knew
Right.
that he wasn't not a good shooter, so he knows that's in his game. You know,
Right.
He gonna take what he gonna get, but that's not what he's looking to do.
But Westbrook is looking to attack,
Right,
and he's also looking to shoot,
right.
which he has not been successful doing either or. Passing the ball,
Exactly.
he's been successful, and I'm speaking specifically to him with the Lakers.
Okay, so
Right.
after Westbrook, who you got?
After Westbrook, I got Steve Nash.
Okay.
After Steve Nash, I got Chris Paul, then Rondo, and then John Wall.
And the reason why Wall last on your list,
Wall is last on the list because he ain't accomplished nothing. What does Wall bring to the? If you could pick any player from that list to go on your team,
Wall last on everybody.
he could be the last person.
and the reason we speak like that on Wall because these guys he ain't been playing enough basketball. It's hard to say. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. He got to be at the last when the man ain't played the last 4 seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
I think that the biggest thing is he's played enough basketball where you can measure.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that the level of basketball that he's played is equivalent to those that are in the conversation with him right now.
I'll take that.
You know what I'm saying? Rondo has won championships.
Yes.
He got 2. He the only person on the list that got championships.
And why do him and Chris Paul never seem out of action? Like they always clash and they fight. You know, when they see each other on the court, it's spitting in faces. It's like the negative energy be serious with them two, man.
I think that's just more so
I don't know where it came
getting
from, but
under the
It's
skin.
like they don't like each other, man. It's bigger than basketball the way they carry. Like
It-
no
so-
respect for one another.
Certain people that know how to get under your skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I take that.
And you
Devil
play
is
play
real, huh?
play basketball, right?
Devil real, I
So
take that.
if somebody is talking trash to you in a certain way, it's easy to ignore them and look at them like nigga, whatever.
Right.
But then you got that person who know you,
Right.
Who can-
He's not a hit
right?
that switch.
Exactly.
That
And
is
the
switch.
moment that switch is hit, everything
Right.
changed. Whole thought process changed. Now you looking at the game like, you know what? F the game.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to punch this fool in his face.
I think a lot of that CP3 John Wall feud come from the fact that they both from North Carolina.
No, CP3 and
John Wall.
Rondo.
Oh, you said Rondo?
Yeah.
But
Oh, Rondo.
CP3,
Remember, Rondo spit in his face.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was ugly. Like they,
That was horrible.
yeah,
that was bad. My man spitting hit his face. And LeBron ain't know what to do. LeBron was put between a
That was like wow.
What
That's
it-
bigger than basketball.
Cause my man spit in his face. Rondo is his teammate. Chris Paul is his homeboy.
Right.
And after Rondo spit in his face, Chris Paul go to punch him in his face, and
Yeah, you got to.
LeBron
Like,
trying to break it up. Like, you ain't gonna spit your body fluids at me, and I'm just gonna look at you like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You could have just did this to somebody yesterday that got herpes. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, listen.
Steve Nash remind me of Mark Price, man. Like a Mark Price before. He can stick the 3 ball. But Mark Price, more like, wasn't that flash? Had finishes like that, dunking on people.
Well, Mark Price didn't ever lead his team either. You know what I'm saying?
He was can stick the 3 ball.
Mark Price was more Steve Kerrish to me, or John Paxsonish to me.
Nah.
He shot better than
Mark Price was
he was a floor.
He was 1-2 on his team.
Yeah, he was.
I don't ever see him as 1, but at least 2, 3, because he was on the team with Brad Daughtry and Brett.
Hot Rod Williams.
Yep.
What's the boy? But Mark Price. What's the boy? Craig Elo. He had all them guys.
Damn, Billy, you old as fuck. Oh, Billy, you old.
Basketball, I come up with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mark Price was always 1-2 on his team.
Yeah, 1-2.
Maybe not 1, but he was always at least 2.
Yeah,
right.
Steve Kerr was never 3. He was 4 or beyond.
He was with the GOAT, man.
But he still was Pippen and Rodman.
Right.
And a whole lot of other people.
Yeah, he never started.
But Steve Kerr won more than Mark Price.
Right.
He won.
Every team he went on, he won.
That's what I said. When you win a championship, like, it solidifies being a champion.
That makes a substantial difference.
Wow. When you're a champion, it just solidifies a lot of
Listen,
things. You ain't got to be the best player.
Do you
look
keep
at John Sal, look at these guys, man. These guys.
But do you keep speaking the champion because you won the CIAA championship and you Hall of Famer? I keep hearing champion. I keep hearing champion, and is that why you keep mentioning it?
When you win, it's a different kind of energy.
But you are CIAA champion.
Yeah, I gotta take the credit.
And you are a Hall of Famer.
I gotta take the
So
credit.
I kind of feel like that's why you keep
That's why
throwing it in there.
Hey, look, it's like to be a champion, a winner. So it's like, okay, the energy, and you know what it tastes like. So that's why I'm like, when I speak on certain guys, it's like, okay, well, damn, they ain't won nothing. But it's like, if you don't win, look how it is. You could be like this hell of a ball player. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, I come up with hell of a ball players. But if they ain't won, it's like, my man, he a champion winner. He might didn't start or nothing, but he was on that roster with the winners and champions. And he get all the exposure. And my man might have been leading the area in scoring.
It's only
not acknowledged because he didn't win. You know what I'm saying?
It's only one thing that every single sport that exists got in common. It's that somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. And the only one that matter in that game is the one that win. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And if you're on that roster to win, it don't matter if you was on that roster or the last man on the bench. Ain't no iron team. When you win, you still gonna get that love. You know,
exactly.
I know they need to get in.
Hey,
but they on that winning roster, red carpet rolled out for him. You think he was
end of the day
scoring.
I guarantee somebody that was number 7 on the Lakers bench when they won the finals got a ring and they said, I'm a champion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I won.
And you move different.
You definitely move different.
You'll be surprised the people that might acknowledge you. You know, everybody, your peers know, man, you ain't get no clout. You're a bench rider. You go out in the world, the people know you're a bench rider. They ain't going to treat you like a bench rider.
Once they see that ring, once they see that ring.
You're a champion. They ain't thinking about you ain't never get in.
Robert Horry rode the bench for 7 championships.
Hit big shots.
Rob Horry played big pots in them
championships. Flashing stats. You're sure his career stats. Average about 7 points.
His career stats is trash.
Look, 7 chips and all that. I say, man, the bad numbers don't look like nothing. But there's some big shots and he's a winner. You feel me?
And that's the difference maker.
That's the key right there, man.
Straight up. J.R. Smith. He got championships, right?
Yeah, J.R. Smith got some chips.
What did he bring to the table exactly?
J.R. Smith was exciting, wasn't he?
He was exciting early on in his career.
When he was Denver, exciting.
But let's talk about
the Knicks. Yeah, exciting.
Let's talk about Cleveland, J.R. Smith, because that's the only one he really won, right?
He had a role.
He ain't win with the Knicks. He ain't win with Denver.
Got in, great spot up shooter.
He played his role. He played his role.
He played his role.
When we call on you, when you get in, do what we need you to do.
Till he got the ball in game 1.
And LeBron looking like, what are you doing?
Man forgot to score, man, but like to blow that tree. Tree leaguer now. The tree leaguer now, so the man like to blow that tree.
He was high.
He was out there mental because I seen him like, he got the rebound. He didn't even know what was going on.
He thought they was up.
Yeah, you could just tell, like, when he was in a huddle, he never knew. He just was out of it. You know, you could get out there.
It'd be like that,
moment
man.
Is serious,
when you hit the blunt and you
feel
like you up.
That moment is serious.
You was up. He was up a possession before that.
The moment
he missed the free throw where the people took them down.
Hey, man, listen. Whew. I got to take a breather for a second. Listen, I really, really enjoyed this podcast because we got a lot across the board. And we was able to have that conversation with a champion, right? Because you're a CIAA champion.
CIAA champ and
St. Aug,
and a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. First ballot. The ceremony will be October 13th.
Hey, let me ask you something. This is an honest question. Can you still shoot the way you used to shoot?
Well, excuse my language, folks. Do a bad shit in the wood. That's the best I can answer that. You ain't asked me to play basketball today. You ain't asked me to go out there and defend nobody. You said, can you still shoot? Well, of course I can still shoot.
Hey.
If I ain't got to guard nobody, yeah, come on, let's go. You feel me?
We might have to get you on the podcast in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Go up there and we're going to see if I can make more threes than Billy.
I still got it.
Because I can still shoot it too now, Billy.
Yeah,
But
look.
Is you shooting from his range?
I get it.
So you don't remember I was shooting from his range? You don't remember that?
I remember, but he was shooting that.
He remember that.
It
I was shooting it like it was regular, but
Right. We old
he gonna shoot it more like it's regular because he wasn't past the ball.
What they look when we shoot around, what thing we got to do? We can't let the people see this. Put the Bengale. We ain't gonna let them,
Put the big
we ain't gonna let them
gale.
see that. You feel?
Hey.
We ain't gonna let them see what goes on behind the scenes.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
But we appreciate you coming through, Billy.
Oh, I
And,
appreciate the love, fellas. You know I got love. for
I
y'all,
seen
fellas, real talk.
the brother Genuine with one of them shirts on.
Oh yeah, Genuine show love.
doing
man.
the dance, man. You know, Genuine, my man, brother.
People-
I was in with Genuine, brother.
I ain't know that.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Oh, yeah.
I'm familiar with the
Wow.
people, man. I
That's
seen
beautiful.
Genuine with the Vano shirt on. Tell the people a little bit about Vano.
Yeah, Vinyl, a clothing brand called Vinyl. I've been doing it for some years now. Vinyl stands for Visions Are Never Overlooked. The website is vinylthebrand.com. Do t-shirts, hats, hoodies. Got some nice pieces, man. I love what I do. I believe in what I do. I look for all the exposure. You know what I'm saying? Folks can check out the website. You know what I'm saying? We got some nice gear.
Yo, y'all fools holding out. How do I not know about Vinyl? Guru.
I don't know, cause I got
Yeah, he
tons
got-
of Vinyl gear.
Man, I'm
B-Folk
looking
got
for a sponsor,
tons
man.
of
One
Vinyl
episode, I
gear.
get y'all some product so the people get to see it, man.
I know
Definitely.
you done seen me before.
That's important.
Before my man Trail passed, rest in peace to my cousin Trail. Trail say, look, you
Recipe
probably
Trail.
got more Vinyl gear than Vinyl.
And also, I want to mention some. We're doing a community day in the city, man.
Mhm.
August 27th. We got the #1 former NBA draft pick, my man Joe Smith, coming home, man.
Nice.
So we give it back to the city. We have Channel 3, Channel 10, Channel 13. It's going to be out at Lakewood Park from 12 to 6 on August 27th. So if anybody available, we got free school supplies, bounce house, free food, book bags, school supplies. Joe Smith going to talk to the kids. We got a basketball game. So this be August 27th, man. It's going to be real nice, man. So we just, being from Norfolk, folks like y'all, everybody on the platform, we just want to give back because this is where we from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to be able to give back to the kids, they need to be inspired, motivated. So Joe looking forward to come home to inspire the kids. They get to see somebody actually from Norfolk to made it.
Right.
They did something. So for him to come back to speak to the guys, to the kids, and to inspire them, let them know that anything is possible. So, we looking forward for that, man.
Well, we'll be out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely come through,
You
man.
know.
Come, got kids, nephews, come get the food supplies. Or if you your podcast, you know what I'm saying? I know Joe coming home, so a lot of folks going to be out there to interview him. Joe coming back home, so he definitely trying to spread the love. You know what I'm saying?
And what's that date again?
August 27th.
Okay.
It's on a Saturday out Lakewood Park.
Okay.
12 to 6.
Oh, I'm there. I was a legend in Lakewood
Oh,
Park.
yeah.
That was a
Lakewood
legend.
football, some of the best of the
I was
Crusaders,
a-
the Rams.
I was a legend. Crusaders never beat me.
Who you with, the Corruptors?
Neptunes.
The Neptunes are loaded. They always had new equipment, man.
Yeah, that's
Neptunes
why I
had
went there.
air helmets,
That's
man.
why I went there. Yeah, air
I
helmet.
played
We
with
had the
Rams.
only Eric Dickerson in the rec ball,
We had the
league,
ride
and I
hill.
had it.
That's why you wanted it.
Well,
'Cause they
Neptunes
had
had new equipment, air helmets. Everybody else got radio.
Man, that's
Neptune.
funny.
This was a
That
good,
is crazy.
This was pretty beautiful, man. Enjoy myself, fellas. Real talk. Y'all
Hey.
keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Hey, no matter what, Billy, man, just keep doing what you doing. And at the end of the day, we appreciate you. I want to definitely say shout out to everybody that's going to be taking part in what you got going on
Community in the city.
because that's big, especially in our city in
Yes,
Norfolk.
definitely.
We need it.
We need it. We need some
So-
guys. The up and coming, they to see guys like ourselves. You know, we put on our clothes like everybody else, same kind of lingo and kick it, but we just, you know, we more focused, and they need to see that this is where we come from.
Right.
But there's another way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of foolishness, but they just need something to go off of. You know what I'm saying?
You know what'll be cool, bro? Like, real talk, if you got a lot of these rec teams to go out there and play. Like, just play some football. Because that's what they doing right now.
And we
I
all
think
come up like that, man.
Right. We 100% came up. I used to go to the Lakewood and sit and watch every game out there. I go out there at 9 o'clock in the morning. And
4, 5 in the evening.
Yep. And we just watch every game that came out. I mean, I was working. I was making money at the time. But it was just still the fact that I could sit and watch these kids play. And it's kids playing.
Right.
And the kids are adamant and serious about it. And they're going to be as serious as we make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a great thing that y'all got going on, man.
This is like real big, man, for the community. Like I said, everybody coming together to inspire the kids, the upcoming in the community. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely
the more,
you know what I'm saying?
The more, the merrier. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And with that said, hey, we are at the end of the podcast. I don't want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in. Of course, our guest Billy. If you ever want to shoot with them in a shootout, leave a comment because we'll set that up real nicely. You better believe it.
The Guru got his money on Billy.
Yeah.
I got my money on Billy too.
I got to bet on myself now. I got to do that. Now, if you want to play up and down basketball, I don't know about that one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it in me to do that.
We just shooting.
We just shooting open shots.
Just shooting. We gonna get to Billy, definitely. But
I'm money on Billy.
With that said, hey, Billy, it's been great, man. I appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next week. That's a wrap.
Appreciate it.
Bet more sports. We out of here.
Next time.